Tonight, dozens of drivers bloodied and bruised in a frightening freeway pile-up. Flights cancelled as Melbourne vanishes under a thick layer of fog with more weird December weather on the way. Strike action to bring the V-Line network to its knees, commuters told to stay home. Soccer's bucket man says the public shame has been punishment enough as he appeals his jail term. The suburban rail loop takes a significant step forward as Jacinta Allen signs the contract to start tunnelling. And Warnie's kids ensure the Spin King will leave his mark on Boxing Day once more with free heart checks for fans.
This is Melbourne's 9 News with Alicia Loxley.
Good evening. A woman has recounted how lucky she was to walk away with a broken nose after her car was hit by a truck on the Western Freeway. She's among 20 people injured, including 2 men who are fighting for life, when freak fog caused a massive pile-up. Penelope Leash reports.
Bloody and bewildered.
Yeah, so that just happened. My nose is got hit by a car.
Renee Wharton was on her way to night shift when she was caught up in a sea of cloud, blanketing the Western Freeway near Bacchus Marsh. In a second, her car was struck by a truck, her nose shattered.
All of us had our hazard lights on, trying to effectively alert anyone that was coming towards us because the fog was so thick. People were still just coming in hot so fast. Pretty much instantly after, I had the truck run up the back of me.
She took refuge inside her car before collapsing onto the median strip.
It was nuts. It was like something out of a horror movie.
At least 30 vehicles were impacted, 14 in just one collision. Drivers still travelling at pace.
Oh my God. What's going on with this bloody...
This ute running into the back of a truck, its driver trapped as emergency services battled the fog.
We thought it was going to be us. My kids were crying and it was quite horrific.
It was like a war zone.
15 people were rushed to hospital by ambulance, at least 20 injured. 1 man fighting for life.
You should need the emergency services to tell you to slow down and adapt to the driving conditions.
Those stuck behind in a long, hazy wait.
Fog lights weren't helping, high beams weren't helping, nothing.
Police believe yesterday's collisions were mainly caused by drivers failing to adapt to the weather conditions. The 2023 road toll is on track to become the state's highest in 15 years, with 3 more lives lost in less than 24 hours. An 85-year-old man killed after his Nissan sedan crumpled into a tree at Oakley East this morning. Hours earlier, a 31-year-old Norlane man died after falling from an e-scooter without a helmet, while the truck driver lost his life when his rig became stuck on train tracks at North Shore.
That will have a tremendous ripple effect on a whole range of people.
Inside a cloud or not, drivers are being warned to open their eyes to danger.
Drive appropriately according to conditions. That's my biggest thing. It was, not worth the risk.
And Penelope joins me now. Is there any improvement for those most seriously injured, Penny?
Alicia, 1 man here at the Royal Melbourne Hospital is still in a critical condition, but another patient who was serious earlier today has now been assessed as stable. That's the same as other patients taken to hospitals around the west of Victoria. Now, police say the sort of damage we've seen in the last 24 hours is what they're being faced with every day, and they are determined and desperate to stop it across the Christmas period. There is a festive Christmas operation being launched on our roads from Friday. It will run for an extra 5 days this year, starting with a major police operation on one of our freeways over the weekend. Police say anyone who is pushing the limits with distraction, speed, drugs or alcohol can expect to be caught.
OK, Penny, thank you. The persistent fog and low cloud that blanketed the city also created travel headaches for passengers at Melbourne Airport today. 32 flights have so far been cancelled, adding to more than 100 domestic cancellations yesterday. Travellers are advised to check with airlines for any changes to their departure times. Livinia joins us now. And Livinia, are these conditions unusual for this time of the year?
They are, Alicia. A few factors need to come together to get such low cloud. clear skies, light winds and abundant moisture in the atmosphere. During summer, we often have the light winds and clear skies, but we're usually lacking the moisture component. But right now, sea surface temperatures in the Tasman Sea are warmer than usual, and we've had easterly winds pushing that moisture across the state. So everything has come together to allow that fog to form. It's not expected tomorrow, but there is a very dangerous weather day ahead of us. Severe storms bringing damaging winds, heavy rain and large hail. A high thunderstorm asthma alert covering areas from Colac to Sale, and a total fire ban for parts of the state. I'll have all the details on a tumultuous Wednesday later in the bulletin, Alicia.
OK, Livinia, we will see you soon. The V-Line CEO is urging regional commuters to stay home tomorrow morning as strike action cripples the network. Reid Butler is at Southern Cross Station tonight. Reid, are there any alternatives for passengers?
There are buses available, Alicia, but they're extremely limited and exclusive for essential journeys only, and that's probably why V-Line's own boss is pleading with customers to do everything they can to avoid the network tomorrow. It is that dire. Regional trains will not be running between 3 a.m. and 8 a.m. tomorrow, and even when they do get started again at 8 o'clock, the knock-on effect will likely mean there'll be big delays throughout the course of the day. And this just isn't regional passengers that will be affected. V-Line also services Melbourne suburbs, including Melton and Tarnee. This is all the result of a breakdown in negotiations between the union and V-Line. Workers are worried about job security with the introduction of new technology. V-Line isn't coming to the table with the list of demands, and this is what the result is. Here is V-Line CEO Matt Carrick.
We encourage all passengers to check out our website, check out our social media posts and our app for the latest details on what buses will be travelling when.
We made our claims clear to them on day one, and they've refused to address them.
As far as disputes go, Alicia, this is a messy one, and unfortunately it's passengers paying the price.
Yes, indeed. OK, Reid, thank you. Tunnelling will start on Melbourne's suburban rail loop as early as 2026. Premier Allen today signed a multi-billion-dollar deal despite dire warnings about labour and material shortages. State political reporter Mark Santomartino.
By the time Jacinta Allen faces an election as leader, she'll have opened the Metro Tunnel, cut the ribbon on the Westgate Tunnel and started major construction on the most expensive project in Victoria's history.
People who are wanting to stop the suburban rail loop are saying to these communities, you may as well stay stuck in your car. You won't be able to get access to good housing.
Jacinta Allen took that swing at blockers and knockers while announcing a $3.6 billion deal to dig 16-kilometre tunnels between Cheltenham and Glen Waverley train stations.
They'll be the longest rail tunnels in the country.
The rest, between Glen Waverley and Box Hill, will be sold separately as another small piece of a $30 billion puzzle that has some experts worried. Victoria has less than half what it needs in the bank, and Infrastructure Australia is forecasting major material and labour shortages.
Australia will struggle to deliver on all of its infrastructure ambitions over the next 5 years.
All of this pushes up the price to taxpayers.
The government's leaping into the dark. It knows that it doesn't stack up now, but it's still going ahead.
Even with the well-known labour and material shortages, the Premier insists by the time this part of the project is finished around 2030 that the entire thing will still be on track for a budget between $30 and $35 billion.
Only the Liberal Party are talking about cancelling this.
You wouldn't build a house without having the money available to finish it.
Victoria wants at least another $9 billion out of the Prime Minister and is yet to detail how it will fill the remaining $11 billion black hole. Mark Santomartino, 9 News.
A hooligan who hurled a bucket into the face of a Melbourne City goalie is trying to appeal his sentence. Alex Angelopoulos was ordered to spend time behind bars, but his lawyers say public shame has been its own form of punishment. Court reporter Amber Johnston.
Earning the nickname Bucket Man has weighed so heavily on Alex Angelopoulos. His lawyers say the court should show him mercy.
Why do you think he should be spared jail time?
They argued the 23-year-old has unfairly become the poster boy of the violent pitch invasion at Amy Park, where he was captured hurling a bucket of sand into the face of Melbourne City goalie Thomas Glover, leaving him concussed and needing 10 stitches. He was sentenced to 3 months jail, his lawyer Dermot Dan instantly appealing that decision. He says it's unjust and his client never intended to hurt anyone, asking for a community corrections order instead.
Do you think that's fair to Mr Glover?
In a letter to Mr Glover, Angelopoulos said his actions were inexcusable and reprehensible, and he's deeply ashamed. The court heard his drug and alcohol issues contributed to his behaviour. His lawyer reassured he's now sober. The judge not so convinced. I have some scepticism with the ceasing of drugs altogether, and I have a similar degree of scepticism to the alcohol. I think he downplayed the level of his reduction, and I don't want a community corrections order going light on the rehabilitation issues.
Angelopoulos will be assessed in the coming days to determine just how strenuous a community corrections order would have to be to match his level of offending, with the judge to make his decision on Friday. Amber Johnston, 9 News.
Residents in northern Queensland are bracing for tropical cyclone Jasper to make landfall tomorrow. Just hours ago, the storm was upgraded to a Category 2 and it is currently sitting 235 kilometres off the coast of Cairns. It's expected to bring winds of up to 140 kilometres an hour and a 500 millimetre deluge. Let's go live now to Cam Inglis, who is in Cairns. Cam, an emergency warning has now been issued.
Yeah, Alicia, only just a few moments ago, it's urging 15,000 people here in Cairns to consider leaving their homes and seek higher ground. They are concerned that they will be in danger when this cyclone hits because of the major storm surge that will be coming with it, meaning many homes here in Cairns and the low-lying areas will be flooded. Now, they've set up 2 emergency refuge shelters today, but they simply won't be able to house everyone. The marina here, it's doing what it can. It's moved every boat downstream to try and basically seek shelter for the boats from these strong and gusty winds. The airport will be closing here in 2 hours, meaning anyone who has chosen to stay has had a hectic day, basically sandbagging their properties and businesses, as well as stocking up on supplies, gas, water, the first things to go, because people here know once this cyclone hits, it could be a blackout for several days. Alicia?
Very concerning indeed. All right, Cam, thank you. And today we'll have special coverage of Cyclone Jasper with Sylvia Jeffries live in Far North Queensland. That's from 5 a.m. tomorrow and, of course, later throughout the day on 9 News. Australia simply doesn't have the people power to build the homes and cities we need. That's according to a new report. Tradies won't be fast-tracked under the new migration scheme as the housing and rental crises get worse. Here's Charles Croucher.
They may be powering the construction of Australia's future. But tonight, Australia is running low on homegrown home builders.
Australia is facing severe labour shortages to deliver on our infrastructure ambitions. We've got a shortage of about 229,000 workers.
A new infrastructure report highlights a shortage of resources and labour, with $250 billion worth of infrastructure projects to be built and a target of 1.2 million new homes.
Trying to get a tradie, a carpenter, a brickie or a plumber or an electrician, it's hard and it's also expensive.
Under the core skills pathway, they will be able to come into Australia. They'll just have to do some labour market testing first and the visa will be processed within 21 days.
But that applies only to those earning under $135,000 a year, with demand and inflation driving many trades beyond the bracket.
We want to make sure that locals are getting first crack at the jobs.
To get more cranes on the horizon, the government is pointing to tens of thousands of fee-free TAFE spots in 2024, arguing that would train Australians for high-paying jobs without increasing the immediate demand for housing.
We all need more houses in every community across the country because there's huge demand.
Tonight, new data from SQM Research shows rental vacancies declining to just 1.1% nationally, with Brisbane, Perth and Adelaide all below the average, and just 32,660 vacancies across the country.
We're in the middle of a housing crisis right now. You can't find a tradie for love nor money.
Charles Croucher, 9 News.
The RBA Governor has flagged new laws to deal with the pressure that going cashless is putting on Australia's payment systems. Finance editor Chris Kohler has the details on this. Chris, what has Michelle Bullock suggested?
Well, Alicia, today's speech comes as cash sinks to lows never really seen before. New data shows that cards now make up close to 80% of all payments, while cash has dropped to just 13% of transactions. And the finance industry is now openly saying that that makes it unsustainable. But Michelle Bullock today stood firmly behind physical money.
The RBA places a high priority on the community continuing to have reasonable access to cash withdrawal and deposit services.
Now, interestingly, the governor floated the idea of a cooperative system where big banks would share the cost of dealing with cash. Now, that would require quite a lot of negotiation and work from the ACCC, but it's a big sign to see the RBA governor talking about it today. She also reiterated her view that businesses should be able to pass on a surcharge for using buy now, pay later services. So that's another one to look out for in 2024. Quite a lot discussed by the RBA governor today, Alicia.
Yes, indeed. All right, Chris Kohler, thank you. Stephen Miles will be Queensland's next Premier after a late-night deal was brokered with Treasurer Cameron Dick, who will become his deputy. Miles will take over from Anastasia Palaszczuk, who endorsed him as she announced her retirement from politics after 9 years in the top job.
There's been a lot of discussions between a lot of people over the last few days, but this is an agreement between Cameron and I. I asked Cameron to run with me and he agreed.
Health Minister Shannon Fentiman today confirmed she will not stand for the leadership at Friday's caucus meeting. It wouldn't be the Boxing Day test without the presence of the late, great Shane Warne. And among the many tributes to the cricket legend, free heart checks will be offered at the MCG as his kids carry on his legacy. Adam Hegarty has more.
Nearly 2 years since the Spin King became the MCG immortal, Warnie's not done. Through his kids and his friends, a new task on the turf he called his office. Heart failure claimed Shane, and they never saw it coming.
So it's actually a silent killer. I get emotional, but there's sometimes no second chance. But this test could give you a second chance.
This Boxing Day test, free 4-minute health checks. Shane's mate Aaron Hamill with a test run today. There'll be the regular tributes, spectators encouraged to wear his trademark floppy hat and to perform the famous tip at 3:50 each day. But for Summer, Brooke and Jackson, on Dad's playground, it's more than a game.
Like, how cool is it going to be when people can go around and say, Shane Warne saved my life? It would be one of his greatest honours.
23 stations will be set up in and around the MCG, just a taste of what a lasting Shane Warne legacy is all about.
I'm extremely passionate about it, having lost my dad 14 years ago, suddenly to a heart attack.
They want 1,000 cricket fans a day to take up the offer, the results sent straight to your phone.
A quarter of people who have a heart attack don't make it to hospital in the first place, and prevention's key.
Be it the summer of cricket.
It's much more than cricket now. This will save lives.
Or the summer of Shane.
Can sort of be the hat of the summer. It'd be pretty cool.
Adam Hegarty, 9 News.
Very cool indeed. All right, now to look ahead to tonight's sport. Here is Tony Jones.
Thanks, Alicia. Good evening. Among our stories a little later on, a former batting partner joins Mitchell Johnson in giving Warner a whack. It's certainly adding to the tension in the build-up to the first test in the West. Steve Smith has his own challenge.
Have you thought of what you need to do to get back to those lofty peaks?
Just score runs.
Also tonight, the Stars. They're laughing as well after a cheeky big bash dig from the West. Round one for this new Bulldog, and it is personal. More upheaval in Netball Australia. The Chief is walking, and with another nuke around his neck, the Demon sends a message to his Oz Open rivals. That's all coming up later in sport, Alicia.
Look forward to that. We'll see you very soon. Still to come, hosting Christmas is stressful enough, but it doesn't need to break the bank. Up next, the simple tips from a Melbourne mum who has lunch sorted. A drunk, drug-affected driver faces court over a Diggers Rest crash that killed her friend. And Zelensky channels Reagan as he races against time in Washington.
They needed your help, and boy, did you deliver. A glimmer of hope for the Teray family. Our special update tonight. See you at 7.
It's the perfect holiday with the perfect score.
Can you hear people singing?
See why the travel guides call Europe
Right, it's the Beethoven house.
Beethoven, isn't that a little doll?
their favourite holiday ever.
Wow.
Looks like an odd piece.
We give this
5 stars.
You're a dirty old perv, you know that?
Travel Guides Europe, tonight 7:30 on 9.
What if true luxury was about inner fulfillment? First ever hybrid Mazda CX-90, all in perfect balance.
Expert advice, trusted by experts. Get the job done right first time at Mitre 10, the other hardware store.
Simon is here, 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 Simon.
TK Maxx. Big brands, small prices. Apps at TK Lootly.
The best holidays are the ones that stay with you. Explore New Zealand with 14 nights on board Grand Princess with RACV Travel and Experiences from $3,280 per person to share. Book your next holiday with RACV Travel and Experiences. Eternity, Calvin Klein.
Nine News, brought to you by the KFC Big Bash League. Catch it until the 24th of January.
A Sydenham woman who had drugs in her system when she crashed into a power pole in Diggers Rest, killing her best friend, has pleaded guilty. The court heard Jessica Glennie was also pregnant at the time and miscarried as a result of the 2021 smash. Janelle Noonan-Long's partner today described her grief.
Loved partner. I love him so much, and no matter what the outcome is of today, I'll never bring it back.
Ms Glennie will be sentenced at a later date. Volodymyr Zelensky is hoping to switch the international spotlight back on Russia. Ukraine's president has taken his plea for military help to Washington, warning Vladimir Putin is fighting against freedom. US correspondent Jonathan Kersley.
A wartime leader in a mercy dash for support.
We hope just as much to be able to count on you.
Volodymyr Zelensky in Washington, D.C. at a crucial time. $93 billion of military aid for his country is held up in Congress amid a stoush over it and American border security policy.
Anyone inspired by unresolved issues on Capitol Hill is just Putin and his sick clique.
Ukraine's president drawing on history and the words of a Republican American leader.
Tear down this wall.
To plead once again for Western strength in Europe against a man he regards as an enemy of freedom.
His real target is the freedom. Freedom people enjoy from Warsaw to Chicago to Yokohama.
655 days since Russia's invasion.
Ukraine will fight. Ukraine will stand.
Tomorrow, President Zelensky will bring his message and his warnings about Vladimir Putin here direct to Congress and to the White House for yet another meeting with President Joe Biden, the two leaders to stand together against Russia's dictator.
America's commitment to supporting Ukraine against Russian aggression is unshakable.
Putin must lose.
At the US Capitol, Jonathan Kersley, 9 News.
The US has voiced concerns Israel could be using white phosphorus weapons in southern Lebanon. The munitions are often deployed to create smoke screens to conceal troop movements, but are banned in populated areas because they cause horrific burns.
We've seen the reports, certainly concerned about that. We'll be asking questions to try to learn a little bit more.
More than 18,000 deaths have now been reported in Gaza. 70% are women and children. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today said it is the beginning of the end for Hamas. A referee has been punched and kicked during a soccer match in Turkey. His attacker, the president of one of the teams, lashed out when his side conceded a goal in overtime. Players were quick to defend the 37-year-old ref, who suffered a fracture to his eye. With the cost of living crisis looming large this Christmas, many families have been forced to get creative as they account for every cent. But as Mimi Becker discovered, a budget-friendly feast is still an option.
For all the food, fun and presents, Christmas can be costly, but there are some serious ways to save.
We shop in bulk, we shop specials.
The lavish lunch getting a makeover, vegetables set to be the star this summer.
Veg is the best bang for your buck over Christmas, about 40% cheaper than last year overall.
Melbourne mum Kayla Masuto will be feeding her family of 18 with just the right amount of leftovers.
So we're reducing our waste and also reducing our costs when we're shopping for Christmas.
We buy a lot of food at Christmas. Just store it well. Really think about how you're storing it so it lasts as long as possible.
And when you're out shopping, the trick is...
whatever's piled at the front is generally what will be the best, the cheapest and the most tasty because it's in season.
And if you're looking for a bit of traditional festive fare, Choice has put the Christmas ham to the test. IGA's naturally smoked came out as the best at just $8 a kilo. Woolworths a close second, but twice the price, while Aldi came in third.
Ham is a great way of feeding a crowd at a great value price point.
Seafood always a staple. Luckily this season, you won't have to shell out a small fortune.
Prices are really good this year, if not the same price, cheaper than last year.
There's a real abundance of raw banana prawns and we actually have them at a great price this Christmas at $14 a kilo.
While turkeys will be available in supermarkets from next Monday. Mimi Becker, 9 News.
Children as young as 5 will be taught violence is never okay as part of a push by the Pat Cronin Foundation to expand into primary schools. A new Act Kindly activity kit, complete with books and role-playing, will be distributed to schools around Melbourne. The rollout's in response to demand from teachers. When 9 News returns, a new Melbourne crime lord unmasked the underworld figure believed to be behind our tobacco turf war. Monash researchers uncover the bonus health benefits of Ozempic, and we join Starlight at the Royal Children's to discover smiles are the best gift this Christmas.
This Sunday, Delta is back with a special star-studded Christmas event.
Hello, Australia.
With Robbie Williams, G-Flip, Kate Sobrano,
Merry Christmas, everyone,
Gujarat, Teddy Swims, Russell Crowe, and lots more.
Hey, has anybody done this yet? How about this guy?
Spread the Christmas spirit. Brand new Christmas with Delta, Sunday 7 o'clock on 9.
The Audi Q8 e-tron. That's progress you can feel.
The McRib is back. Chicken Big Mac is back. And the new McRib Deluxe has just arrived. Macca's summer menu. It's the summer we've all been craving.
You and me made a lover of an enemy. Yeah. Stop, come sleep. Stop, come sleep. We're gonna make a memory.
What happens to all the grease and grime on your dishes? It can build up inside your dishwasher. Add Finish in-wash dishwasher cleaner to your washer to clean your dishwasher while your machine cleans your dishes. Try Finish today.
Lauren says, when my delivery arrives, absolutely love the smell and was so surprised it works. Since then, she's converted everyone.
Well, with the kids, I wanted to stay away from as much unnatural stuff as I possibly can. I've tried so many natural deodorants. They all say they'll work, but they don't. Recommended it to my husband, my family and my friends. They're all converted as well. You want to go over here? I'm definitely no super mum, but it does do what it says it does. Wouldn't choose anything else.
Tomorrow, live coverage from far north Queensland as Cyclone Jasper makes landfall.
Plus, fancy waking up with a brand new television or sound system. We have more than $30,000 in epic tech to give away.
Be watching to win tomorrow from 5.
Get into Anaconda this Christmas and save on a huge range of camping gear. Igloo 49-litre icebox, only $69.99. Plus, save $130 on Spinifex standard 2 3x3 metre gazebo. Play more and pay less this Christmas with our 10% price beat guarantee. Anaconda!
News, brought to you by Anaconda. Play more and pay less this summer with our 10% price beat guarantee.
A new godfather of Melbourne crime is thought to have emerged. Career criminal Kazem Kaz Hamad is believed to be behind the rise of tobacco war fire bombings and non-fatal shootings. Police believe the 39-year-old is running a major Middle Eastern organised crime gang from Dubai after he was deported earlier this year. A producer from The Project is the first Network 10 staff member to give evidence at the Bruce Lerman defamation trial. Angus Llewellyn worked with Lisa Wilkinson on the interview with Brittany Higgins and was accused of not verifying crucial information before it went to air. Tiffany Genders was in court.
It was the bruise Brittany Higgins first claimed was caused by her alleged rapist.
You have a photo that you took of a bruise that developed from that night. What does that photograph show?
It's quite a large bruise. It's just the weight, obviously, of his leg pinning me down.
Later conceding it could have been from a drunken fall. Ms Higgins told the federal court she lost the original photo but provided a screenshot to the project producer Angus Llewellyn, who was today grilled about its inclusion in the story at the centre of this defamation battle. The journalist claiming he thought it was the original and never checked the metadata because Ms Higgins had signed a statutory declaration. I want to suggest you failed in your obligation to check the credibility of the source and her evidence in respect of this photograph. I would disagree with that. I want to suggest your conduct in putting this photograph to air was unreasonable. I don't think it was unreasonable whatsoever. Bruce Lerman now after compensation for the 2021 interview, which he says destroyed his life. In a case full of twists and turns, Sky News has been ordered to hand over a secretly recorded tape of Ms Higgins' fiancé and lawyer discussing her evidence last week. It was while she was under cross-examination and banned from receiving advice.
Listen to the question and keep the answers short. But be careful, it can't be different person.
Leon Zweier and David Shiraz were with Ms Higgins at court the following day, but there's no suggestion any information was passed on. The court was also played a covert recording of Michaelia Cash, where the senator claimed not to have known about the alleged 2019 rape until February 2021. It prompted this swipe from Ms Higgins on Instagram. They really gaslit me for years, pretending to be supportive. Tiffany Genders, 9 News.
Diabetes drug Ozempic is known for its weight loss benefits, but now is proving to be effective in other ways. Monash University researchers found the so-called superdrug also protects the heart and kidneys, in particular for people who have diabetes or are overweight. Possible Ozempic side effects are being investigated by the Australian drug regulator. Royal siblings George, Charlotte and Louis have joined their mum to help sort Christmas gifts for children in need. Pictures of their charity work were released as Uncle Harry suffered an expensive blow in his legal fight with the tabloids. More from Edward Godfrey.
Pulling up at a charity centre near their home in Windsor, Princess Kate with children George, Charlotte and Louis delivering some early Christmas cheer.
There are lots of volunteers who come and help out. And so you're the volunteers for this evening.
The young royals picking out clothes and toys that catch their eye.
Yep, this is a big guy.
And packing them into gift bags to go to families with children in need.
You can see how rewarding that sort of work is, isn't it? Knowing that you're helping out others.
The Prince and Princess of Wales releasing this video. The same day it emerged another member of the family has been ordered to hand over cash. A High Court judge ruling Prince Harry must pay $91,000 in legal costs to Mail on Sunday publisher Associated Newspapers, one of the UK tabloids he's suing. The Duke had fought to have the paper's honest opinion defence thrown out in a libel case relating to a 2022 article about his dispute with the Home Office over the removal of police security. Mr Justice Nicklin ruling the case should go to trial, saying the publisher had a real prospect of arguing its case. This particular matter is expected to be heard in the middle of next year. It's one of 5 cases Prince Harry currently has before the courts against UK tabloids. In London, Edward Godfrey, 9 News.
The corner of a 6-storey apartment building has collapsed in New York City. Firefighters are digging through a huge pile of debris in the Bronx, searching for possible survivors. The 100-year-old complex had known defects, but it's not confirmed if that's to blame. The spirit of Christmas was on show at the Royal Children's Hospital today as the Starlight Children's Foundation treated sick kids and their families to a joy-filled celebration. Emily Rice joined the party.
Jingle bells, jingle bells. The Christmas party season is in full swing and young patients at the Royal Children's Hospital were getting into the spirit. Joy was the theme for the Starlight Children's Foundation's seasonal soiree for sick kids and their families.
All the activities are really fun.
The vibe has been super Christmassy.
It looked like Santa's workshop as they worked hard putting their own designs on these plush toy presents.
I've been making arts and crafts and having my photo done.
The Starlight crew worked the room, generating plenty of smiles. 4-year-old Audrey was keen to pose with her new Christmas bear with a name straight out of the Nativity story.
His name's Mary.
Even the Grinch put the crowd in a good mood. Some of these children will be spending December the 25th having treatment, and this non-medical space in the hospital helps them cope.
It's like a second home, actually. It's like I can't thank the Starlight team enough.
Starlight is aiming to raise $1 million this Christmas to bring happiness to sick kids in hospital. You can jump on our website and donate today.
Starlight helps capture the joy of childhood, even amid challenging times for these little people and their families.
Merry Christmas.
Emily Rice, 9 News.
How beautiful is that? Well, ahead in 9 News, when it comes to strokes, every minute counts. But alarmingly, Australian hospitals are slipping behind the global standard. Chris Kohler explains where we stand on the world stage, 40 years since the dollar was floated, and a triple threat of Aussies leading the charge at the Golden Globes.
Trust no one.
I don't think I can trust the banks anymore.
Sunny's pre-Christmas warning. Her life savings gone.
Down the drain in a matter of like half an hour.
To a cruel scam.
How is anyone to know that's a scam? Exactly, that's why I just believed it.
A current affair next.
At Woolworths, it's the little things like our award-winning hams that make Christmas special. And to help you spend less, Woolworths' delicious half leg ham is at a low price of $8 a kilo. That's today's fresh food people.
Hey, Toddy! Todd!
Oh, should have gone to Specsavers. Health Fund members head into Specsavers before December 31 for 30% off lens options. Head into your local Specsavers today.
What's that all about?
'Tis the season for soaring, for exhilaration and escaping, for indulging and soaking it all in. Gift the unforgettable this season with Red Balloon.
A drive that's on an entirely new level, so you can get more out of every moment. All hybrid Mazda CX-60. Elevate your world.
We've just got nowhere to go.
It's all okay.
I told Alex, we can't afford Christmas.
Give the gift of hope to families living in crisis. Donate to the Salvation Army Christmas Appeal so nobody struggles alone.
Out the front, sweetie. Don't be too long. Kiss. UI's 24/7 roadside assist is a must-have with this late-night teenage taxi service I've recently started.
Insurance that's a bit more U-shaped. UI. You insured.
Bunnings has you covered for your last-minute essentials, whether you need some gas for your barbecue, an extra chair, or an extra cooler for the drinks. You can make it a Christmas to remember with our lowest prices.
Marquee Pisa resin chair, only $25.97. Esky 52-litre cooler with wheels, $109. Click 40cm pedestal fan, just $17.
Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Velocity frequent flyer points.
That was fast.
Earn points and get to rewards fast. Velocity means fast.
He's the original international man of mystery.
Commander James Bond.
Handsome but deadly. The Spy Who Loved Me, tonight on 9Gem.
Concerning figures from the Stroke Foundation tonight. A review of 100 hospital services across the country found Australia is falling below international standards on treatment. Only 29% of hospitals gave eligible patients clot-busting drugs within an hour. That's compared to 60% in the US and UK. The foundation has recommended the need for a better system-wide coordination of services and earlier access to time-critical treatments. It's 40 years to the day since the Australian dollar was floated on the global marketplace. Finance editor Chris Kohler says since then it's had quite a few ups and some downs.
December 12, 1983, the Aussie dollar went up against the world's biggest currencies, and it's been doing it every day since. This is what things looked like back then, when Treasurer Paul Keating confirmed on day one the Aussie was buying 90 US cents.
I'm very pleased with the way in which the first day's trading has gone, and I think it's been an excellent introduction of the new system.
And this is what's happened since. It fell all the way to 47 US cents after the dot-com crash in 2001 and climbed all the way to $1.10 US during the resources boom of 2011. That feels like a very long time ago, as the Aussie now buys 66 US cents. And it's certainly been embraced. The Aussie is now the 6th most traded currency in the world, sitting between the Chinese yuan and the Canadian dollar. As for the day-to-day finances today, the share market was 0.5% higher as traders waited for the Chemist Warehouse merger to land on the ASX, and the Aussie dollar, on its kind of birthday, was also buying 61 euro cents and 52 British pence.
And the average price of unleaded is around $1.77 a litre at the moment, but you can find it cheaper in Flemington and Hawthorn. Animal lovers are being offered the chance to spend more time with some cute canines and get fit while doing it. The Lost Dogs Home is looking for 70 new volunteers to take their four-legged lodgers on essential daily walks. Go to the Lost Dogs Home website to apply for positions at both the North Melbourne and Cranbourne shelters. Well, 3 Australian leading ladies are the talk of Hollywood ahead of the awards season. They're among the nominations for the 2024 Golden Globes, dominated by Barbie and Oppenheimer. Lauren Tomasi has the story.
This is the best day ever. It is the best day ever. So is yesterday, and so is tomorrow, and every day from now until forever.
It seems nothing and no one is immune to the Barbie buzz.
Margot Robbie, Barbie.
Dance the Night, Barbie.
The 2024 Golden Globes turning a distinct shade of pink. Barbie receiving 9 nominations, with Golden Girl Margot Robbie in for Best Female Actor.
And my heels are on the ground.
Hot on the pink heels of the Greta Gerwig film, Barbie's release date companion Oppenheimer with 8 nods.
World will remember this day.
Now in its final season, Succession proving it has the recipe to success, with 9 nominations in the television categories, including for Australian actor Sarah Snook.
Would we consider at least a call? Was he apologising?
In The Crown, Elizabeth Debicki dazzled as Diana, the Australian nominated for Best Female Supporting Actor for the 2nd year. There's no shortage of Hollywood heavyweights in the nominees, but less than 1 month out from the Golden Globes, there is one glaring omission. So far, there's no host. Chris Rock, Will Arnett and Jason Bateman all reportedly turning down an offer to host the awards. This 81st show will be the first not run by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, which has now been disbanded. Instead, fresh ownership and a whole lot of pink. In Hollywood, Lauren Tomasi, 9 News.
And now returning with tonight's sport, here is Tony Jones.
Thanks, Alicia. Hello again. Coming up, Steve Smith's simple solution to finding form with the bat.
Ed Cowan, meanwhile, sides with Mitchell Johnson in the war with Warner. The netball players dispute claims of scalp, the chief no less, and the Demons' 3-day summer break. It might just be the key.
There are things we can't see, like the air that we breathe. There's a power in me, you'll see.
He's done it! For our homegrown superstars, this is the one that matters most. The Aussies are ready to unleash on 9 Summer of Awesome.
Give you by tomorrow only get wicked one-day deals. Like $450 of this Google Pixel 7 phone, crunched to $849. These Bose Quiet Comfort headphones thrown out for a ridiculous $388. Stores open till 9 p.m. tomorrow. JP, you've done it again.
I'm on the next level, yeah, I know you heard about it. You know I'm bad it, and don't you ever doubt it. I'm incomparable, that's why they stare and know. Turn up the stereo, check it out, check it out, check it out.
There is still magic wherever you are.
Cherish those golden to us this Christmas. Fragrant hazelnuts, smooth velvety chocolate. Say it with gold. Ferrero Rocher.
Don't tell me you don't want to be a part of that.
Paper Dolls, now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
There's a safety recall on solar system batteries branded LG, LG Chem, and some Solax products. Affected batteries may overheat and catch fire. Even if you have checked before, please check again.
At Woolworths, it's the little things like our award-winning hams that make Christmas special. And to help you spend less, Woolworths' delicious half-leg ham is at a low price of $8 a kilo. That's today's fresh food people.
There's nothing like cricket. It's sunshine, snags, samosas, slip, slop, slap. Bring your mates, your mum, your yaya, your nonna, your nani. Zinc on the lips, hands on the hips. Heroes. Hot days. Phew, where's the shade? The worrying. The wickets. The winning. It's old friends, new friends, staying till the end. It's cricket, and there's nothing like it.
I prefer a laptop. I like the clicking sound that the keyboard makes when you're typing.
We won't be beaten on BYOD prices. Find a lower priced identical stocked item and we'll beat it by 5%.
The Audi Q8 e-tron. That's progress you can feel.
This sports report brought to you by Sportsbet. Celebrate great mate moments with Sportsbet. Imagine what you could be buying instead.
Cricket first up, and by his own admission, Steve Smith is down on form. But the star batsman is hoping there's a simple solution to his slump as he put retirement rumours to bed ahead of the first test. Nat Unides with the details.
In the last 6 months, Australia has won an Ashes series, a World Test Championship and a World Cup, all without Steve Smith at his best.
Performed at a high standard for a long period of time, and yeah, you're right, I was probably below my standards of what I want.
For Smith, the solution is simple.
Just score runs. So yeah, for me it's not overthinking it, not overplaying too much, not changing too much, just going out and trusting what I do.
The other option, replace David Warner at the top of the order.
I don't know, I've thrown my hat in the ring to open, but it's easy up top.
Warner will retire after the New Year's test in Sydney, but at 34, Smith has no plans to step away.
I'm not really sure, I just take it day by day and enjoy my time playing and while I'm enjoying it, I'll keep playing.
Smith wouldn't be drawn into the ongoing feud between Warner and Mitchell Johnson, but Warner's former opening partner, Ed Cowan, didn't hold back.
He's saying a lot of things that 90% of the people in the pub have been thinking. Dave Warner has been a walking wicket for 2 years now.
The Melbourne Stars have added motivation ahead of tomorrow night's clash with the Scorchers after several stars were labelled rejects by the West Australian press.
It's pretty funny. I mean, whatever. That's fine. A few boys from the Wacker sent some nice messages after that, which I would probably prefer not to get because I wouldn't mind the ammo.
The Stars still hope skipper Glenn Maxwell will only miss the one game with an arm injury. Nat Unides, 9 News.
The unrest at Netball Australia continues with CEO Kelly Ryan quitting her post. Ryan's decision comes after an emotive players' pay dispute ended last week. But the ugly standoff spilled into the public arena, with Netball Australia still scrambling to minimise the damage it caused.
Now we will look forward to working with the Players Association, who I've already spoken to, and moving forward to heal the sport, which is what needs to happen.
Ryan's departure is effective immediately. No rest for Newcombe medalist Alex de Minaur, who's revealed his off-season break lasted just 3 days. But it could pay off for the world number 12, who believes he can take down anyone at next month's Australian Open. He spoke with Braden Ingram.
As Aussie tennis raised a glass to the Newcombe medalist over in Spain, there's no time to celebrate for the man himself.
Right now we're week 2 into pre-season, so not even orange juice at the moment, it's just strictly water.
Alex de Minaur joining Ash Barty and Sam Stozer as the only players to have claimed the honour more than once.
I'm very happy to be among them and in pretty good company.
The seasons tend to blend together on the tennis tour, and the 24-year-old feels if he's not working, he's not winning.
Have you had at least a week off?
A week? But what kind of sport do you think we're in? No, I had 3 days off.
It's that mentality that's lifted de Minaur to the edge of the world's top 10, but breaking into it, that's a whole new ball game.
A lot of people don't realise how much work it takes to kind of make these miniature steps. All of these guys, they're very good players, so you got to try and find the little edge.
A win over Daniil Medvedev last November lit the fuse for 6 victories over top 10 players this year.
All of a sudden I had the belief and the confidence that I could do it any given day.
He'll bring that belief down under next month, where advancing past the 4th round for the first time at Melbourne Park feels genuinely possible.
Go deep in slams and the bigger tournaments.
De Minaur will open his season leading Australia's United Cup charge in Perth from December 29. Braden Ingram, 9 News.
New Bulldog James Harms is counting down the days until round 1 when he'll meet his old side, the D's, in what should be a fiery old clash at the G. Harms has lit an early fuse, claiming the Dogs are more skillful than Melbourne, the team who he won a premiership with in 2021.
I feel like we're a little bit more advanced with our footy skills at this stage of the pre-season.
Harms's bid to increase his time in the centre should continue, with coach Luke Beveridge using him as a defensive midfielder in the pre-season. Melbourne United coach Dean Vickerman is hoping his supporter base can create a hostile environment in Thursday night's crosstown throwdown at John Cain Arena. While it's a Phoenix home game, Vickerman is hoping for a sea of blue in the stands.
Throwdowns have always got a little bit more, and we expect that it's going to be very well attended by the Melbourne United fans. It's a unique environment when we get half the crowd there or more.
It shapes as a really tight contest, with United top of the table and Phoenix in 3rd. Should be a terrific night too. Alicia, that wraps it up for tonight.
Absolutely, Tony. Thank you very much for that. Lavinia returns now, and it's going to be a very hot night, Lavinia.
It is, Alicia. The city's not expected to drop below 23 degrees, and add the humidity onto that. If we get much sleep, we will wake to a windy day ahead of storms, possibly severe. I'll have details on what could be a dangerous Wednesday forecast next.
The footy star's wife taking on the AFL over her husband's brain damage from playing the game. Join me after the news.
Find out why Europe is their favourite holiday ever.
You're a dirty old perv, you know that?
Travel Guides Europe, tonight 7:30 on 9.
The Cherry SUV sale event is on now. Great offers across the entire 2023 SUV new vehicle range. With the latest in design and technology, there's never been a better time to buy. Offer ends soon. Book a test drive today at cherrymotor.com.au.
Introducing Gillette Labs with Exfoliating Bar. With one-stroke exfoliation, it clears a path on your skin before the blades for an effortless shave. Level up with Gillette Labs.
Rosie's bringing the roller boogie. Ryan's bringing the dad fun. What are you bringing?
I brought the Cadbury Favourites.
Bring it with Cadbury Favourites.
Get together with Hungry Jack's Mega Feast Bundle with Pop and Chicken. Get 4 drinks, chips and sauce, 2 Whopper cheese, 2 cheeseburgers, 2 chicken royales and 20 Pop and Chicken for just $39.95 at Hungry Jack's. Want to grow your small business into a big business? Nine Ad Manager lets you buy advertising campaigns on Nine Now, Australia's most watched free streaming TV platform. Create your campaign, choose the audiences and postcodes you want to target, and then track how it performs. You can even create your own video ad, all for only $550. Turn your business into a household name. Go to 9admanager.com.au.
Yes, things have never been so sweet. It's why we're getting under your feet.
Montine PowerGuard Multi kills crawling and flying insects in seconds and protects on surfaces for up to 1 week.
More smart, more safe, more team.
Engelbert Humperdinck, The Last Waltz Farewell Tour.
Tell me when
See the King of Romance Down Under this May. Hamer Hall, Melbourne, 23rd of May. Tickets and info at tickettech.com.au.
Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words had forked no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night.
Kia, movement that inspires.
We have the lowest prices for Christmas entertaining.
Pool noodle, only $2. Jumbuck spit roaster, just $84.90.
Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Stay safe this summer.
And from all of us here at the Today Show,
Merry Christmas!
Hello again. Melbourne had another extremely foggy start to the day and it's been very humid again, but that's where the similarities to yesterday ended. The city has been an incredible 13 degrees warmer than yesterday, peaking at 33. The humidity made it feel even hotter. Epping reached 35 degrees and had a feels-like temperature of 38. Mildura hit 41 degrees for the second day in a row and it reached the high 30s elsewhere through the far north. A trough running the length of the country is dragging down humid air from the tropics and that is triggering extensive thunderstorms to our west. They have just moved over the border and a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for damaging winds, heavy rain and large hail. And there's also a warning for storms in the northeast. Tomorrow, the Bureau identified this area in red as the most likely to be hit with severe thunderstorms. That does include much of the Melbourne metro area. And due to the possibility of damaging winds, the risk of thunderstorm asthma is high in some parts of the state. From the early afternoon in Colac, stretching across to Sale, Ambulance Victoria is on high alert. Elsewhere, Tropical Cyclone Jasper is expected to make landfall around Cairns as a Category 2 system. The area is bracing for destructive winds of more than 130 kilometres an hour and 150 millimetres of rain. Further south, Brisbane will be calm and warm, heading for 30 degrees, a top of 29 on the way for Sydney. Hobart also heading for 29, but there's likely to be afternoon showers and storms. Back home, showers and storms will begin in western parts of the state, reaching central districts in the middle of the day before extending through the east. And although forecast rainfall totals are modest, storms have the potential to deliver much higher totals. It'll be another hot day with much of the state heading into the 30s again, but a cool change will sweep across from the southwest later in the day, bringing a significant drop in temperature. A total fire ban is in place for the Mallee, Wimmera and Northern Country districts. But first, a very warm night across Melbourne with minimums in the low 20s. It'll be windy to start the day before showers and storms develop from the late morning. Rainfall totals of 10 to 15 millimetres for eastern suburbs, but storms could bring much heavier rain, along with damaging winds and large hail. Most suburbs are expected to reach 33 or 34 degrees before a cool change arrives late in the evening. For Geelong, a low of 20 and a top of 31. The city should reach 33 degrees and then showers will clear early on Thursday for a calm and partly cloudy top of 25. Partly cloudy skies and 23 on Friday. 22 on Saturday, 24 under mostly sunny skies on Sunday. 29 on Monday with a late shower, which will linger into Tuesday morning, and a top of 21. Tomorrow is a turbulent day. From a low of 23, we're expecting strong winds in the morning, then showers and storms, possibly severe, with heavy falls and large hail, a top of 33. A hot night ahead of a potentially dangerous day, Alicia.
Yeah, indeed. OK, Livinia, thank you. And that is 9 News this Tuesday. Deb Knight is next with a current affair. I hope you have a great evening. For now, good night.